should be written in a proper style, right? And readable. Avoid excessive jargons. Jargons matlab technical terms that we use. And the layout also should be very, very important. Your section, paragraph, everything has to be as per the prescribed norms. You should have bullet points highlighting all your listening. बहुत घुमा फिरा नहीं होना चाहिए, right? And you should make sure there is enough enough accuracy maintained, and everything should be factual. पूरा factual रहना चाहिए. I think it is like this. You should not be doing that, right? The researcher is of the view that these two factors are correlated. And what is the extent? As far as possible, use numerical values. That is what is called accuracy. Are you following? Instead of saying, I think it is this, you can use the term, the researcher is of the view. समझ में आ रहा है? Does it make a difference? Does it make a difference? I am talking to you. Say, any research report, this research report has to be very formal. You cannot make it informal. It's reporting of your research, right? So it should have prescribed style. Research report के style में होना चाहिए. आप कैसे भी greeting card के style में नहीं बना सकते हो, right? And then it should be in a proper layout, page layout, like section, paragraph, headings, subheadings, ये सब बराबर highlight करो. And you should have accuracy also. जो भी factual findings है, fact express करो. And do it in such a way that you're avoiding technical terms, jargons we call it as. Technical terms को jargon बोलते हैं. And whatever it is reported, numerical values में report करो. It is very, very, very essential that if you say it is correlated, what is the extent of correlation? कितना है? You should have tested it. Simply you cannot say students' hours of study and their marks are all very, very related. That doesn't help anyone. Okay? How did you find this out? And what values did you get when you found out? Are you following?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
As this thing, and it has to be very clear. Somebody reading it should be able to read it. You should use simple language, and the degree of objectivity, it has to be very objective. If I say I want to achieve relationship between the two, it has to be that. You cannot beat around the bush, right? So you have to clearly, even if I come back and read it, I should be able, my question should be answered. And readability again, attractive रहना चाहिए. Attractive, you don't need to draw flowers, fruits, रंगोली बना के मत रखो, right? You need to have it legible. एकदम दिखते ही handwriting या जो भी है type को, तो it should not be cramped, right? You should have enough spacing. You should not have much of technical subject matter, right? And again, it should be very clear and direct style. एक बार आप style के हिसाब से font size और आप spacing and then border वगैरह छोड़ दोगे ना, automatically it says it is a research report. It should not be too cramped also. Very short sentences. Objective of the study to investigate the significant association of hours of study put in by the students and the marks scored by them, right? And then you should use very familiar words. जो सबको पता है वैसे words use करना है. You should not be using all technical terms and then making it difficult for the reader to understand. हर एक चीज को मैं dictionary या Google search करूँ, it doesn't make any sense, right? And after it is complete, you should revise it at least 24 hours. आप बार-बार पढ़ के देखो, आपको कुछ ना कुछ गलती नजर आएगा. Grammar होगा, spelling होगा, etc. You need to check. You need to see if the meaning is conveyed, right? And apart from that, whatever you want to tell, you need to tell the readers, right? Are you following? आपको जो बोलना चाहते हो सिर्फ वो बोलो, एक्स्ट्रा बोलने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, right? और बहुत कम बोला तो भी people should not go around. See, if I want to find out what is the performance of this, I don't need to read 10 reports. एक research report crisp मिला, that is more than enough, right? With all the facts accurately listed, right? Apart from that, you need to have a feedback meeting. In case you are consulting your guide, or in case you want people to give a feedback, I will say feel free to write to me, right? And does this report have an impact? How will I judge that? What is the summary of the abstract? Abstract में मैं दे देती हूँ, abstract और executive summary में ना मैं क्या करने वाली हूँ, मेरा objective क्या है, expected outcome वगैरह मैं थोड़ा सा spell करके रखती हूँ, so that when the reader proceeds to the introduction part, he doesn't have to break his head. And then the following parts which explain whatever is being done in the research. And purpose or objective of the research say report has to be consistent. Objective कुछ हो या purpose कुछ हो, I want to communicate something else, but I keep writing something else, it doesn't make sense, right? And apart from that, जितना छोटा हो, even half a page is enough to express what you want to express as research, right? But it has to be crisp, everything has to be expressed. Are you following? And it has to have a logical structure. I say summary, then I introduce the subject matter, I review literature. Literature क्यों review करती हूँ? ताकि पास में किसी ने study किया है and I want to test its validity now, or if it is tested in some other area, I want to test it here. I can prove that. I can say that also. I want to prove the same thing, or if I have contradictory findings, what do I do, right? How will I express? I am expressing that, right? Reviewing the literature. Then I say, this is the methodology I'm going to adopt. एक logical sequence होना चाहिए. After adopting the methodology, I am going to collect the data, analyze the data, and then present my results, discuss the results, and then interpret all the figures and statistics and draw an inference and also make a suggestion. Are you following? Are you all following?
Yes, ma'am.
This logical structure has to be there, and then finally I have to give references, which is also called as bibliography. And apart from that, if required, I'll give a covering letter saying that this research is for this purpose, and I wanted to submit it to the government of India for taking such action. I can do that if it is intended for it. And yesterday we discussed the contents like title page, executive summary, सब कुछ हमने कल ही discuss कर लिया था. You remember? Do you remember I even showed you with a research report? Are you following? Any doubts so far?
No.
So
Yes, ma'am.
now I just have one topic left in IBF.